Hey guys, so today we're going to be taking a look at the Knack Bag's medium expandable Knack Pack. And this has been at the top of my wish list for quite a while now. Ever since I came across their site and saw the emphasis that they placed on the one bag life, I was very intrigued by the different features that the bag seemed to offer, the style, and most importantly, the ability that it had to compress and expand. And so if you've been watching the channel for a while, you know that I'm particularly interested in compressible bags such as this that work well for daily and travel use. And we've featured some great ones on the channel so far, but it seemed like the Knack Pack would really be able to give them a run for their money. So I reached out to the company to see if they had a review unit available, and they were kind enough to send one for me to test out. And so I've been using this for about a month, and so far the experience has been great. The bag has been very comfortable to wear, the organizational options and style have been fantastic, and more importantly, the compression and expansion has worked even better than I thought it would. So I'm really excited to share it with you guys, so let's just jump in and take a closer look at the Knack Bag's medium expandable Knack Pack. So jumping right in, the first thing I want to talk about with the bag is the expandability. This to me is the standout feature of the bag and what really allows it to work so well for the one bag life. And so as you can see here, the bag is fully expanded. This is the medium expandable version of the bag, which means that at its fullest capacity, it expands to 31 liters. And when it's compressed down, it goes all the way down to 17 liters. So this is absolutely incredible. I haven't seen this level of expansion and compression on the other bags that we've checked out. So I really love how flexible this makes the bag for both traveling and daily use. And so at the moment, the bag is offered in a larger version if you want a little bit more space to travel with, and that expands from 20 to 40 liters. But to me, this medium version here is about as close to perfect as a bag like this can get for working in a variety of different situations. And so when the bag is expanded out to its 31 liter capacity, it still doesn't look that big, which I really like. So I can walk around the city with it. I definitely don't feel out of place. And especially for business travel, this is going to be fantastic because I could see myself walking into a business meeting with all my travel stuff and my work stuff and not feel out of place. It matches up great with professional looking outfits. So just a really stylish bag, even when it's expanded out like this. The size of the bag also seems ideal for carrying on to pretty much any airline that I can think of. I definitely would have been comfortable using this on the smaller international airlines that I've flown on, like Ryanair and AirAsia. So just a really great balance of size and capacity. And so one thing that is very unique to this bag and has helped it stand out from other similar bags that we've looked at is the fact that I currently have this packed out with the travel items that I typically use for a 2 to 3 week trip and most of the same items that you've seen in all my other daily bag videos. So to me, that's a huge bonus. When I look at bags like this, typically I have to adjust my packing style a little bit. So if I want to have all my travel items, I have to leave out some of the daily items that I typically want to use. But with this bag, I've been impressed that I've pretty much been able to fit both things very comfortably, making it really ideal for just arriving at my destination, taking out all my travel items, and then being able to go about my day-to-day as I'm normally used to without having to make any sort of trade-offs. So just a fantastic balance for daily and travel use. And so right now I'll go ahead and jump right into the items that I have in this main travel area. And so the bag has a nice suitcase style opening, which is always great for easy packing. So it comes all the way around. You can open it nice and wide so you can see everything that's in the bag at once. As I mentioned, I have most of the travel items that I would need for a 2 to 3 week trip. The only item that I wasn't able to include in this travel section, which I normally would try to include, is an additional pair of shoes. So typically I have something like Converse or something flatter that I pack in to go with my Toms. In this case, I wasn't able to pack that out, but the rest of the items are all the same items that you've seen on bags like the Air Travel Pack 2, which has been kind of my go-to travel pack. And so the first thing I'll call out here is this compression strap. I really like when bags include this type of thing in the compartment. Very simple, just one minimal strap that you can use to kind of tighten everything down and make sure it doesn't shift around too much. And so opening this up, the first item that I have here is the Air Travel Kit, which has been my DOP kit of choice. Next up, I have a pair of Toms that I like to take with me on every trip. After that, I have my smaller packing cube with my underwear, socks, and smaller clothing items. And then I also have my larger double-sided packing cube that has my jeans and shirts and larger clothing items. And so now with the compartment empty, you can see just how much capacity it has and how simple the compartment is. No sort of internal organization or additional zippers here. So I really love when bags have this bucket of space that work really well for my packing cube style. I also really like the bright inner lining, which makes it very easy to see everything that's inside the bag. You'll see this throughout the rest of the compartments as we dive into the other areas of the bag. And then on the flap of this compartment, there is a zippered mesh area that you can use to store some of your clothing items. If you want to separate them out from the rest of the compartment, you can put maybe a jacket in here, your underwear and socks, maybe some toiletries. So just nice to have that extra bit of separation. The mesh also makes it very easy to see what's in the compartment. And the best part is that it lays back flat. So I typically don't like to use these compartments, so I just left that empty and it stayed out of the way. Once you arrive at your destination and you want to use the bag for your day-to-day, you can zip up all this extra fabric here, taking the bag down to a nice 17 liters. So I'll go ahead and zip the compartment up first. And one thing I will note about the main zipper opening for this suitcase area is that it is not lockable. None of the zippers on the bag are lockable, which is not a huge deal. It would have been nice to have that extra bit of security. And so to compress the bag down, the bag has a zipper that goes all the way around. It has this nice pull tab here so that you can start zipping it. And it's a very quick and easy process to compress this down. As you're zipping it around, you want to make sure to tuck in all the excess fabric so that you don't get it snagged on the zippers. And so now that the bag is completely compressed down, you can see it at its 17-liter capacity, so it has a very slim and professional look. Of all the hybrid bags that we've looked at, I really like the look of this one the best for daily use. And even if this was just a daily bag, its look would compete very well with some of the other professional looking bags that we featured on the channel, such as the Air Day Pack. The bag is also offered in a variety of colors. The one that we have here is the black version, but they also have a gray, a green, and orange, and I think they're coming out with some new colors in the future, so you have a nice variety to pick from. I'm always partial to black bags, but with this one in particular, I think that the black helps add just that extra touch of sleekness, even though the bag already looks great all on its own. On the front, as far as branding, you have the Knack name at the bottom of the bag, and then there's also the logo near the middle. As far as the materials, it's made out of a custom water-resistant polyester, which feels pretty durable, but the biggest benefit that I've noticed is the weight. So this bag, when it's empty, is just over 2 pounds, which is really great considering the size and capacity of the bag, that it doesn't add any additional weight, which definitely helps with some of these stricter weight requirements that you'll find on a variety of airlines. As far as the zippers, the bag has nice YKK zippers all around. The zippers seem to offer a good amount of water resistance, and they have these custom zipper pulls which are comfortable and easy to grab, and they also match the aesthetics of the bag really nicely. And so continuing along the outside of the bag, there's a very comfortable top handle, which is great for picking the bag up or carrying it around when you don't want to wear it on your back. The handle has a nice amount of padding and has a nice meshy material on the inside. And so one thing that would have been nice to see with the bag is maybe a briefcase handle on the side, especially because the bag has the ability to tuck the straps away, as we'll take a look at in a second. And because of the rest of the clean look that it has, it might have been nice to include that side handle to carry it maybe into a business meeting. On the outside, I was happy to see that there's an external water bottle compartment, which is very uniquely implemented, different from a lot of the ones that I've seen on other bags. And so when the compartment is open, it does give an interesting shape to the bag. It looks like it almost has a wing coming out, and it does kind of cover the water bottle, so you can't really tell what's in there. Mine kind of sticks out a little bit just because I have this side handle on my water bottle. Once it's expanded out, it looks very much like a normal water bottle compartment on the front, so it has this elastic material here, which seems to be able to expand a nice amount. So I was able to fit the water bottle that I typically use in all my daily bag videos here very easily, as you can see. And so pulling that out, you can see how deep the compartment goes. So I think you would have some space to put something a little bit wider. This does share volume a little bit with the inside of the main area. So if you do put something particularly big here, you might eat up some of the space in there, but with this water bottle here, it's been very comfortable to use. And then the nicest thing is that if you don't want to use the water bottle compartment, you can actually zip it up and hide it away, which really helps the bag keep a very sleek look, much sleeker than a lot of the other water bottle compartments that we've seen implemented on professional looking bags. So love this idea here. And so jumping into the straps on the back paneling, I really like how the straps were implemented here. They have a nice amount of padding, they're nice and soft, they have a nice meshy material on the inside to help prevent moisture from building up. They also have a nice width, which helps prevent them from digging in when you're wearing a lot of weight on your back. And then I really like the contoured shape, which fits my shoulders really well. On top of that, the bag has an adjustable sternum strap to help distribute the weight, especially when you're wearing this like a travel bag. One touch that I thought was also nice was the addition of this plastic loop at the end of the backpack straps that allow you to really grab and adjust the bag very easily, especially when you have the bag filled out with all your travel items and you have to pull a little bit harder to be able to adjust the bag to maybe pull it higher on your back. It's nice to have this plastic clip to give you just a little bit of leverage. And then, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, you also have the ability to detach and tuck the straps away if you want to give the bag a cleaner look or if you need to check it for whatever reason. And so I really like how this system was implemented here. It feels very durable. It has metallic clips here that feel like they're going to hold up well over the longer term. And then I really like this space given here to the bottom of the strap, which prevents this clip from digging into your back while you're walking around. So just really like how easy these are to remove. Then at the top, there's a little compartment here where you can tuck the straps away, and then you can zip this up, and now your bag has a much cleaner look to prevent anything from getting tangled if you don't want to have the straps out. Moving into the back paneling, I really like how this was implemented here. The foam that they've included is very soft. It feels great on my back. I also like the amount of elevation that's provided to create these air channels here to prevent moisture from building up. I do wish a little bit that there had been some mesh material included on the paneling itself to just add that extra bit of airflow, but so far this has been really comfortable. One thing I'll note while we're on the back paneling is that there is no waist strap on the medium expandable version of this bag, and you don't have the ability to add one, which I think is fine considering that the bag doesn't get too big. It can get a little bit heavier if you fill it up completely like I have, but I don't typically have any issues with bags of this size without a waist belt. If you did want a waist belt, they do have one that tucks away on the larger version of this bag, so that might be something to keep in mind if you're unsure which version you want to get. And so jumping into the organizational options of the bag, this was an area where I was very impressed with how many different pockets were included, and this is what really helps make the bag so great for day-to-day use. And so starting off at the top here, there's just a small quick access compartment. And so I really like the lining that was included in this area here. This is meant to be for your sunglasses and your phone. I've chosen to organize my bag a little bit differently, but the thought process here was that you could put your sunglasses in this area since it does have this fleece lining here. And so currently what I have in here is my Apple Magic Mouse. And you can see that the pocket doesn't go too deeply, it goes about the length of my fingers. And then there's this little divider here, which you could maybe use to put your phone if you want to be able to grab that quickly. Currently what I have in here is just my lightning cable to charge my phone. So a nice amount of space in this piece of the compartment. It comes out a little bit further, so love the flexibility offered here and just how easy it is to get into this compartment. Next up, the bag has another quick access compartment on the front, which has a pretty unique opening. I hadn't really seen anything like this on other bags. It has these two zippers that come down and then a flap that tucks underneath the Knack Bag logo that you can pull out to allow you to open the compartment a little bit wider. I also think that it helps to have that flap so that if you just want to open one side of the compartment to get into an accessory on this side a little bit quicker, it's nice that you have some flexibility in how you can open that. So opening up the compartment fully, I like that it has these little bits of fabric here to help prevent anything from kind of spilling out of the side. Some nice internal organization offered here as well. And so starting off with the back of this compartment, there's a larger slip pocket here on the back, which might be a good place to put something like a notebook or your passport. Currently what I have here is my Field Notes notebook. This might also be a good place to put something flatter like my Apple Magic Mouse or something like a portable hard drive. And then on the front, there's just a variety of smaller slip pockets, which I'm not really sure what I would use these for, maybe for business cards or something like that. I typically don't end up using these very much, so I kind of wish that they had just added one larger slip compartment similar to this one to provide a little bit of separation, but not maybe such limited space. And then if you don't want to use the slip compartments, there is a nice amount of depth to the compartment as a whole, so you can just rest maybe larger items here instead of using this internal organization. And then it's nice that on the flap there are these elastic bands to hold some of the thinner items that you might need to carry with you. So what I currently have here is just a smaller lightning cable that I typically attach to a portable battery. And then I also have a stylus and laser combo. And then I also have an SD adapter for my USB-C MacBook, and it also has a USB attachment. So this is very useful for when I want to take footage or pictures from my camera and put them into my computer. So just really love the variety of organizational options that have been offered all throughout this compartment. In addition to these front quick access compartment, the bag also has one more organizational area on the bottom. This is going to work great for bulkier items. So opening that up, it has a nice wide opening here, some leftover space. Even currently what I have is my sunglasses with their case. This is going to be a great spot to put something like a laptop charger or some headphones. One thing to note about this area is that it does take up some space from the main compartment. So pulling out the lining, you can see just how much that might poke into the main area. So if you fill this up completely, you'll have a little bit of an interesting bulge in the main compartment, but I haven't noticed it to be too big of an issue. So really love the implementation here. Very easy to get to this compartment, and love how much space it offers for those bigger items. And so next up is the laptop compartment, and the bag has a nice side access laptop area, which makes it very easy to get your device out as you're going through TSA. Nice YKK and water protected zipper here. And so opening this up, you can get a nice view into the compartment. Nice amount of space. Currently what I have in here is my 13-inch Touch Bar MacBook Pro, but you can definitely fit up to a 15-inch laptop in here, so very easy to grab this. Now with the compartment empty, you can see that it has the same bright inner lining as the rest of the bag. The compartment offers a nice amount of padding. Unfortunately, the back doesn't offer any sort of felt line material to help prevent against scratching, but I still feel like the compartment does a nice job of keeping my device secure. As you can see, it has a fairly wide opening, so if you have a thicker laptop, it should be able to fit in there pretty comfortably. One thing to note is that unfortunately the compartment does not have a false bottom, so if you place your bag down on the ground, you want to be a little bit careful because there is a chance your laptop could make contact. And so the last compartment we're going to be taking a look at is kind of the main daily area. And so this is where the bag really stands out and helps make this such a great bag for both EDC and for traveling. And as I mentioned earlier in the video, what was most impressive was that I was able to include most of the same items that you've seen in all my other daily bag videos in addition to the travel items that I typically take with me. And so opening the compartment up, it has a nice wide opening that reminds me a lot of the main area of the Timbuktu Never Check Expandable backpack. So you can easily see everything that's on the inside. It has these nice guards here on the side to prevent the bag from spilling open and having everything fall out. So I like that. Maybe not quite as much as a full clamshell opening, but this is still a really nice implementation. I like that it handles bulkier items well. And if you didn't have as many daily items as I typically like to use, there's plenty of leftover space for something like an extra pair of shoes when you're traveling, or maybe you have a bulkier pair of headphones that would be able to fit in here. I wasn't able to fit my Beats Solo Wireless 3 with the travel items, but for a normal day-to-day, I would definitely be able to fit them in here. And so jumping into the items, the first thing that I have here is my GoRuck wire dock, which has all my smaller tech accessories. And then I also have a full-size moleskin notebook. And then I have my iPad mini 2. And there is a separate sleeve for this, which we'll talk about in a second. And then I also have a folder for all my papers and receipts. And then the last thing in here is my Levitate portable standing desk. At the bottom, you can see the quick access compartment from the front of the bag, where I had my sunglasses poking in here a little bit, so it does take up some of that volume. But in general, just a very open space that makes it very easy to organize everything the way that you like. And so on the back of this compartment, there is a fleece-lined tablet area. And so this offers a nice amount of space. Definitely could fit up to a full-size 10-inch tablet in here. I would have loved to have seen the tablet sleep on the flap as opposed to the back of the compartment, as I wouldn't want to lay everything down on top of the tablet, but still really like that this was included. Continuing along with the organization, on the back of the main area, there is a smaller mesh zippered compartment. I really like the mesh that's used throughout the bag. It's very, very easy to see into the compartment, so you can easily find what you need to. And so this one offers a nice amount of space. Currently what I have is my UTech wireless charger for my phone, but I could have easily put a hard drive or my mouse in here. And then at the top, there is also a little keychain loop with a metallic clip for your keys, or in this case, I have my Gerber shard attached. So really like when bags include this sort of clip. It just gives it a little bit more of a premium feel. It's very easy to open and remove your keys if you need to get to them throughout the day. And then on the flap, the bag just has one more mesh zippered compartment, similar to the one that we saw on the back of the compartment. So similar meshy material makes it very easy to see what's inside. Nice amount of space here. Currently what I have is my portable Bluetooth speaker and power bank. So the compartment does offer a fair amount of volume if you have something a little bit thicker. And I really like when bags that have such large main compartments have this sort of organization at the top, so that if you have smaller items that you want to get to quicker, you don't have to go fishing into the bottom of the bag. They're just easily accessible right at the top. So just a really great job with this main area overall. On its own, this would make this a fantastic daily bag for EDC or for taking into the office. But with the fact that it can expand to hold enough items for traveling, this really does become probably one of the best options that we've looked at so far on the channel for the one bag life. And so to wrap up, it's been a great experience testing out the Knack Bag's medium expandable Knack Pack over the past month or so. The bag has been really comfortable to wear. It has an awesome style, some great organizational options, and most importantly, it just works really well for both daily and travel use. And so you can purchase this version of the bag on the Knack Bag site for about $175. They also offer a larger size that comes in closer to $200 if you need a little bit more space or if you want a waist belt with the bag. And so given the features and quality that the bag offers, I think that $175 price point is a really great deal, especially compared with other similar bags in this category. The first bag that this reminded me of was the Nomadic Travel Pack, which so far has been my go-to whenever I want to travel with one bag and I need something that compresses and expands. That bag has worked very well for both daily and travel use. It has some great organization, it's very comfortable to wear, and it also includes some cool accessories such as compressible packing cube and a removable waist belt. However, now that I've been using the Knack Pack, I actually believe that it works a little bit better for both daily and travel use than the Nomadic Travel Pack. When it's expanded out, it can hold just a little bit more, and when it's compressed down, it's a little slimmer, and I just like the overall aesthetics a little bit better. That's always been my big complaint with the Nomadic Travel Pack, is that I just don't really like the look. So this bag, when it's compressed down, just looks like a normal backpack, as we talked about during the video, and I really love that style. With that being said, I wouldn't say there's a clear-cut winner between the two. I do prefer the style and the capacity of the Knack Pack, but the Nomadic Travel Pack is going to be a little bit more comfortable in my opinion, and the straps just have a little bit more padding. I also like how the back paneling feels a little bit more, and it's also nice to have that removable waist belt. And the Nomadic Travel Pack still has some nice additional features such as the side handle so that you can carry it like a briefcase, and the retractable keychain loop. It has a hard case for your sunglasses. So both are just really fantastic bags. I'll probably continue to swap between the two a lot in the upcoming months. And if you guys would like to see a comparison video between the two, please let me know in the comments. And so the next bag that this reminded me of was the In-Case EO Travel Backpack, which has been another compressible and expandable bag with a nice style. Before the Nomadic Travel Pack and the Knack Pack came out, that was kind of my go-to, and it still holds up very well. It's very comfortable. I love the look of that bag. It has some nice organizational options, and you can typically get that between around $100 and $140. So if you're looking to save a little bit of money, that might also be a good option to check out. Another bag that this reminded me of was the Timbuk2 Never Check Expandable Backpack, which we looked at pretty recently. That was another great bag that had a nice stylish look, worked great for work travel, expands and compresses. It doesn't expand quite as far as this bag, so you're not going to be able to fit as much, but it does work a little bit better for daily use in my opinion. That one's going to be a little bit more expensive, coming in at close to $200, but if you're a fan of Timbuk2 bags and you want something that maybe has a slightly sleeker style or is a little bit more comfortable to wear, that'll definitely be a good option to check out. The last bag I'll mention here is the Pack, which we looked at a few weeks ago, and that has been a fantastic hybrid bag as well. It works very, very well for traveling. That one expands a little bit further than this one with a 34-liter capacity. It's going to be a little bit bigger for daily use, so it doesn't work quite as well as this bag, but it had some great organizational options, a nice style. And that bag just recently launched on Kickstarter, so it is a little bit harder to get a hold of. You may have to wait a little bit as opposed to the Knack Pack, which you can actually purchase now. But with all that being said, the Knack Bag's medium expandable Knack Pack holds up fantastically against all the other bags that we've looked at on the channel. It's been great to use for daily use, travel use. It's been very comfortable, has some great organizational options. And I was very glad to see Knack Bag really live up to its promise of delivering something that works well for the one bag life. So I definitely recommend you guys check this one out. I'm very curious to hear what you think about the bag. If you have any questions about the features or how it compares to some of the other bags that we've looked at, please let me know in the comments. And I want to go ahead and thank the company again for sending the bag for me to test out. And if you guys found this video useful, please go ahead and give us a like below. And if you haven't already, please go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming videos. And thank you guys so much.